Corki wasn't really what I had in mind.
Certainly does brawl a lot though, and you're not going to get punished for your short range against this composition.
No, definitely not.
Everyone's going to be pretty in your face. So I think that this is a pretty good Corki angle. See what Duro is going to lock in alongside it. I would assume some engage, as a Leona does seem like a pretty basic choice.
Yeah, also pretty good to deter potential dives as well. If we do see Peanut passing towards the Corki. Similar situation here with the Cassante, or it's not the Cassante, the Alistar. Cassante and Alistar will make such a great front line though, even in some of the early game skirmishes where you can see that Corki armor shred really actually make a big difference. You know, for example, on an early Herald fight or even that secondary Grubs fight, if the Corki does show up to said fight.
Yeah,
Rakan, so easy to lock this one in with the setup you already have. And for Hanwha Life Esports, you have a lot of engage, you have really decent poke. The follow-up is so easy with Rakan and Kai'Sa here. If you have a good Gnar, it's easy for the Kai'Sa to get on top of those targets. Similarly, Yone can follow up. Yone can start the fight. The Gnar can get the bar in the middle of it once the brawly composition that Gen.G pulls out does come here.
Delights Rakan staring us down here as well as we get ready to jump onto the Rift for game number 1, Gen.G versus Hanwha Life Esports.
Yeah. If you end up losing this one, it's going to feel very heavy, the champs you've lost. But I do agree. I think Hanwha Life really utilized Red Side quite well here. And this is, like you said, one of the best game ones you could hope for. We're really pulling out all the stops early, kill you forever.
Yep, well, Duro gonna flash, gets that pulverized headbutts Viper back as decent knock up there from Delight, who's trying to battle dance his way around. Decent little barrier, but it's still Ruler that's able to grab the first blood for Gen.G. Over there, we'll be able to secure that one, but Gen.G not wasting resources. Heading over there as there's a Gnar back. Duro taking the turret for a very long time. The wallop is so good, and Duro just gonna get knocked on the head.
Doomed, so we'll watch it again.
Yeah,
스톱 발키렸거든? 봐봐.
And he's like, I'm going for it. Goes in, hits the Alistar. Flash from Ruler gets him away. Unfortunately for Duro, no way out of this one. You can see Ruler tries to offer since relatively nearby. It's going to be tough to actually collapse Ruler, though.
Ruler was seen. Takes a fair bit of damage, but there's the ulti from Peanut. Remember, he's in the game. And they're going to be able to take down Ruler. That grabs them a whole bunch of extra money and priority on these Grubs. 6 of them.
I mean, if Gen.G mess up this fight, they'll lose all 3, really.
All right, Viper level 8 can Killer Instinct his way in, and Zeka doesn't have his ulti back up just yet, but it is getting closer. 4 Grubs might be what HLE are going to settle themselves for.
We'll get that additional Grub as well as come over here and start this one up.
Well, Peanut is in fog of war for the moment as he dashes over. There's the steal. Thank you very much for that one. Chemtech Soul going to be this game as Peanut thrown around like a ragdoll and I think is going to die. So a bit of a turret here.
Peanut lurking.
Yeah, there's another ulti. The Valkyrie was buffered decently and the flash out does come on through. But now the quickness to stop Canyon from being able to do anything. Ruler is trying to free hit as best he can, but he doesn't quite have the damage as Viper. Even able to turn around and claim the kill onto the Vi. And an ulti from Zeka pulls him under the turret and then he kind of regrets all of his decisions as the buttons go wide.
Over there.
It did make me a bit nervous when he sort of supercharged a little bit closer to the Vi than he maybe needed to. But still, as you say, played it out just fine. And once I've seen this movie before. Is this a replay once again? Is Peanut going to flash over that wall? Vault Breaker going to come out from Canyon. I don't think Peanut's out of the woods just yet. And by just yet, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to get out of the... Okay, maybe he's fine. I'm going to have a look towards the top side here as the knockup is going to be absorbed there by Keen as Yakety Sax plays in the background on the bottom side as Keen just kind of outplaying. He's way too tanky. He does have the Iceborne Gauntlet now completed. They should be able to do so.
A bit weird there. Teleport from Zeka.
Yeah, we're coming in once more as Zeka now looking to try and do the damage that he can as Zeus picks up the Mega Gnar just in time, but Keen is still alive!
Yeah, this is a Cassante?
Yeah, let's just kill the turret, guys, or something like that. The house is going to connect here as Zeus is going to look to just try and finish him off. Will he find it? He just eats the CC because he's Cassante, ladies and gentlemen, and now Chovy's going to
replay right now because we got to look at this live take of the Herald here for Gen.G. Because they only have one of those objectives secured, it will be their second, and this means Hanwha Life, if they can secure this dragon here, will actually...
on either side, as this might be some money. Cease and desist comes on through. Zeus is pretty tanky, but maybe not tanky enough as he does get the double hop. The ulti comes through as Zeus. He gets to safety. Peanut with the prison save.
Peanut here just in the nick of time, but
oh no,
is it
if
enough?
He dies now, that would be very, very sad as Canyon moves over, doesn't find the Vault Breaker as Arctic Assault does a decent amount of work. Zeus alive for way too long as the Winter's Wrath, one more auto, and Peanut takes down his opposite number. So a 1-for-1 in that top lane. Duro underneath this turret trying to take it down if he can. The quickness is decent, charming up almost everyone here as Delight looks to make his way out. Chovy now in trouble as the Unbound Soul from Zeka gets him over there and shuts down the mid laner. And now Ruler finds himself in amongst everyone.
This has teleport.
Yeah, you can see the Unbound Soul does come on through. Pulverize as Zeka is trying to get himself out of there. They block the ulti, so he'll have to flash. Cease and desist comes in. Vault Breaker pushes him back, and Zeka, even though he gets a cute little shield, it's not going to be enough. Viper takes down an outer turret and goes into melee range against Keen. I don't know about that one. Keen goes all out. There's a big shield with the barrier and the knockups. Delight saves the life of his AD carry. And Keen Sante going to fall. There's the ulti from Chovy. The flash out of the way as the ex-teammate is looking to punish. Will the Void Seeker connect as Viper? He's lining it up. He's lining it up, and Zeus says, take a house. It's necessarily worth. As Genji,
I mean, they're still gonna get it, but like the mid is just getting ripped to shreds here. 3 kills.
I mean, and it's only 2 buffs.
Side play. You know, Viper commits to the turret here, and then he's gotten himself Cassanta'd, but here comes a Rakan who's got Locket. Look at the damage on this Fed Kai'Sa. Not even a Cassante can stand up to that firepower. Then
steal things away, and it's going to be a return. As the teleport now from Zeus in response, so it's going to be a 4 versus 5. The quickness is so good. Under 3 here is, my God, Delight and Rakan, ladies and gentlemen. But this knockup, the Pulverize, is just phenomenal, and they're sending everyone back home in a body bag or as far as a Otacon recall. But that will put Anar in a very awkward position as there's a Glacial Prison. Headbutt pulls Peanut out of there. But now Zeus, look at this Nava. They're all up against the wall, and now Peanut is blocking them in there. The quickness comes down as Delight gets into the back line, and there's the 5-man Gnaw from Zeus as Keen tries to go all out, but honestly I think he wants out of this game as HLE just destroy them.
Vintage Zeus Gnar, his Gnarbar was perfectly set. Peanut knew it, and he set them up. And that is going to be a real team fight win here.
I just haven't really felt that impact that we do get from Canyon and Chovy generally in their matches. And we otherwise would, as here's the pick off. The quickness going to be layered. Canyon, he couldn't do anything. He was basically CC'd and then dead. As now Genji just looking to try and back away. Great interruption there from Duro, but the CC coming out once again as Zeka just going to go back to his soul. They're going to grab this inhibitor, and Delight is just fishing, going for one after the other. And there's the flash forward from Peanut, finds the Winter's Wrath onto Chovy, and then just dies. But they take down these Nexus turrets. HLE with game number 1 on the red side, picking up this victory. So many comfort picks, but you can see exactly why these champions are so good for them. They're able to take it home with some great team fighting in this game.
Completely different game, but instead Viper tops the damage over 1k DPM at 30.7k across 29.53.
That is insane for a Kai'Sa game.
He is the main character for this roster, make no mistake.
Yeah, and I don't know, the thing that's crazy to me is Viper does all that damage. Definitely was the main. Jace top, yeah.
Let's see what the final pick is going to be here, because I don't think this is really an Elise situation. You could try to pull it off, but you're just outranged by the Varus. It's really difficult to take cocoons. The Braum,
I'm kind of into the Braum. The Braum angle's pretty good.
It really allows you to control how the level 1 goes very well too, and potentially stop some lane swaps. And because Wukong in this game is going to be tough to actually get impact into a Rumble or an Ezreal pre-6, because they just simply will get away pretty easily. Harpoon.
There's not a lot of, you know, damage variety on Genji's side at the same time. We'll just have to see exactly what all these builds look like as we jump onto the Rift for game number 2.
Chovy is going to have a good time in this laning matchup because he simply just avoids the poke, which is really difficult to land, and just kind of harasses. We'll be able to get some nice wave clear. And this is the kind of matchup where you see Chovy build those big leads that Chronicler was talking about. We haven't seen too much this year just yet, so he has a lot of agency.
Yeah,
Something. He is a level 4 Wukong.
Yeah, and this wave in a pretty good spot for Keen just to hold on to it. Canyon going to be canceling this one. You can see Peanut not really in the area. No knock-up going to come through, but Keen is keeping him interested for now. Canyon shows himself, and Zeus going to do his very best doing some alcove gaming here. Knock-up going to be available with that Searing Charge, but now Canyon with the Nimbus Strike and with the ability to close that gap is going to be looking all right. As does he have a Scrap Shield? No! First
connect, and delayed over here. Trying to make something happen again. This wave's not in a great spot to follow up, but they want to try.
Yep, Battle Braum, he's going to dive on top of Ruler. The door is going to be given. That is decent peel from Duro, but now Ruler with no flash, trying to survive as, oh god, Zeus is possibly just dead. Scrap Shield at the right time, but Keen just flashes on in. And there's the Ornn solo kill onto the Rumble.
This is what can happen when Ornn gets that kill early, to be honest.
Oh, HLE smells something. Teleport is going to bring Chovy towards this top lane. They're going to be fighting for these grubs. Winter's Bite doesn't connect onto Ruler, who does have his flash back up and available. Chains of Corruption going to be coming on through as Viper now getting lower and lower. Winter's Bite goes wide. Magnustorm picks up both of the tanks. Chains of Corruption there as well as Canyon's in with the Cyclone. They try and mitigate as best they can, but it is not enough. And there's a kill going over to Ruler. Zeus, not entirely sure about that one.
Winning a team fight is on the cards for a while. Zeus may get caught again.
Yeah, Canyon's moving on up, and yeah, I don't think Zeus is getting out of this one. Yeah, some hammer boops. I think Chovy was thinking about giving his jungler an assist, and then
side the map for Hanwha Life. I mean,
and this is going to be feats of strength as well if this turret goes down. There's the taunt, connects only onto Chovy, who flashes away. They don't manage to take down the turret on this push, but it is looking worse for wear. Canyon's moving on in, wanting to get these 5 minions towards that turret. Audacious charge from Peanut onto Duro. Magnustorm going to come through the point-blank heroic charge as Peanut's flashing away. The Cyclone doing a fair bit of work here. Zeka trying to be tanky, he goes back in. I don't know about that one. As this bottom side of the map, not long for the world, as we're looking for
Chovy?
A Hextech Dragon. Yeah, Chovy could be in trouble. Zeus almost just dies as the heroic entrance comes on in. They do manage to get the Justice Punch, but Chovy's so tanky. Now Canyon looking to take down this Rumble. That is going to be successfully executed, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end, and now the Ornn Horns coming through. The triple knock up everyone just in the blender as Viper and Ruler are fighting, and we know that that is not a fair one. Delight goes down. Peanut trying to do his very best as these health bars are so low. And Peanut going to get knocked up. Duro takes that as his opportunity to crash on through. They do manage to take down the Wukong. And Peanut does have a lot of sustain in these fights. Wind becomes lightning, and they do need to kill Keen. He's a lot of money to be taken down, but instead, Keen's looking to try and get it himself. That mini taunt, though, is going to be great, and now Duro has no damage.
Yeah.
And so they could just walk towards him, but with Ruler moving down, that means that HLE not going to be able to find any more fight.
That last Sundered Sky proc feels pretty good.
Oh, God. Oh, I saw it happening again. Very unfortunate. As we're going to check this one out from Ruler's perspective, as he chases after Viper, flashes for the ultimate, and manages to just walk him down.
Yeah, with lethal tempo, you're not getting away, unfortunately.
Nope. Cooldown. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, and here in the mid lane, Zeka fighting against Canyon, does have the dash cannon, but my goodness, this is a Wukong that's doing a fair bit of work, finds another charge there as in goes Peanut and finds Ruler. There's the flash taunt, and Ruler once again. This mid lane has not been his best friend, and now Keen sets up the train. Will he be able to get the knockups? Of course he will, as Canyon takes down the enemy 80 carry, but now the Bash Bros are getting back to it. Zeus is looking real healthy, and Peanut and Delight just struggling to take damage here in this game. Zeka as well, going to be okay, and 3 are on the floor for Gen G. How did that work?
I get it.
HLE.
I get it. You know, you've got a cleaver, Canyon, and you want to use it, and
yeah,
use cleaving. Well, there is no reason to make that play into a comp that has a global.
Yeah, I feel like that too, but the problem is it's down to a 3,000 gold lead now. Remember, yeah, HLE, they had an extra dragon, and now they're all piling on top of Peanut. Gen G back on the horse once again, getting rid of the jungler. Absolutely fantastic.
He has a arm guard, so he's got one big fight maybe.
All right, possible battle coming on through here, as we could have a gargoyle joining at any time. Viper free hitting over the wall is fantastic positioning. Knock up onto Keen now as Peanut dives forward. They look for Canyon, and they take him down. The train has left the station, but there's no follow-up. And there's the concussive blows we were looking for. Finally, Chovy shows up, but he is way too late for this party. Going down lower and lower. Remember, there's only one smite, and it's going to be Peanut that locks this one down. And now Chovy, he is just dead. Peanut dives forward. He's got the support of the Galio there as well as Duro. Gonna get knocked up and taken down. This Sin Sao, an absolute monster, even from the grave. Speaking of monsters, Zeka needed to press that arm guard, otherwise he was dead. Ruler still does the DPS, but not now from the death chamber. And Duro in a really awkward spot. Otacon down to about 8,000 health as now Peanut's just walking on up here. Teleport in from the Galio, but he's now surrounded. Viper really far away from this fight. And look at the equalizer. Ruler standing right on top of it. Canyon just spinning, having a great time though. Still, the train, it's not going to get past the door. It's so powerful. Duro going to get executed, and even though Viper's dead, it's still looking all right here for HLE. Zeka just as punching his way in. The winds of war coming down as Chovy gonna get tagged. In goes Peanut now as they're trying to find the DPS. Down goes the monkey, and it's a bloodbath in here. Zeka is just untouched, though he cannot take damage on this Galio.
They caught up in gold. They have a tiny lead. Now it's the lead that Gen.G had. They now have. They're looking to get soul point here for this Hextech soul. Otacon potentially in trade here for Gen.G.
Move up and try to contest. He's going down lower and lower. Peanut is going to have to face check. True Shot Barrage spots out the damage being done here. So Otacon will go over to Gen.G. Take a wave if I was there. Let's get them out of here. Yeah. And he is going to do so. Lands on top of Ruler there as well, as he can now start trying to cook him. As Delight, the flanking Braum! And they get on top of Ruler. They're looking to send him home early. He's trying to get these autos down, and finally he will be taken out. But Gen.G, they're fighting back. The True Shot Barrage finally going to be sent over. And this was an absolute Hummerlife Esports disaster. Not really what you wanted to see from them. And, well, we'll see whether he can actually at least send a few of them back. That is first Nexus turret to go down, but these health bars are getting lower and lower. Keen, he's trying to flash in as the Shock Blast goes wide. These health bars, they're barely hanging on. But the Nexus turret loses interest. Another minion wave is going to taxi its way in. And Gen.G, after trying their very best to throw it as far up the pitch as they could, they pull up their bootstraps and they walk up, they get that ball, and they take it back to their base.
Actually with the rumble on top there, but everything came in kind of piecemeal, and Gen.G just win the fight and end the game. I think for Gen.G though, it doesn't feel like a happy win. It feels like you almost threw this one away, and the coaching staff, I think, probably has a lot of words for them. Early to mid-game, fantastic. A few big, critical mistakes, though. And for support here, I'm hoping it's not a Bard.
Blitzcrank, that would be crazy. This is even more crazy. This felt like a carrier-only type option, as the Pike is going to be locked in here for Delight. It's a lot of power as Kane thinking about some piracy towards the top side. We'll see whether Duro does lock that one in for him. That would mean a lot of damage represented and a lot of area control here for Gen.G.
This comp is so complex and so difficult to play for Gen.G with no real strong frontline outside of the Leona, but they are going to opt into it. I think if you consider how well this comp can work, if all parts work together with Mel's long-range poke, the Lilia setup, the barrel chains, also the global that Keen has to impact and set up slows and then help get a root for Chovy, or even a slow. Like even if Chovy hits his E and it slows a lot of people, that can help set up a bullet time or help set up Lilia damage. But every individual part, if it gets caught, if it's not all set up as a 5-man unit, I feel like HLE Esports' this comp just rips it to shreds. It's so good at isolating targets. It's good at 5v5 too if your initial setup doesn't work out.
They're going to have to do it with some weird and wonderful champions, as Lilia Mel is not the mid-jungle duo that I was considering for this particular game. See how it goes. We jump into the Rift for game number 3.
So there's some things that can be deflected in this game, obviously. Like the Maokai ultimate one part of it can be sent back. The
Curtain Call.
Can
nullify it, of course, but you cannot deflect it.
Okay, well that's good to know. As Duro
is going to have to flash very early on in this one. Viper going to be able to find a 4th shot there as well. Speaking of Deadly Flourish, that goes down onto Ruler.
Stay. If you can. Delight.
Oh dear, Peanut's moving in. There's the Bone Skewer combo, as Duro going to get smashed against the wall over and over again. And Viper picks up first blood for the first time in the series. That flash is going to be enough for the captive audience. Going to work out here as Empress Divide gets a flash out of Chovy. Delight looking to help out. Zeka well and truly out of that blue stuff. So we'll see whether Peanut can get himself in there to try and grab at least one of them away. It looks like not going to be the case. And so Gen.G, they secure not only that, but a portion of the feats of strength as well as now Zeus could be in trouble. Bowling Ball will connect. And now it is sleepy time for the Jacks. In goes Delight to try and get him out of there. And in fact, Rift Scuttler, that's going to be able to get him that level 6. Now that pivotal ultimate going to be available. All right, let's see whether Chovy can get the fancy footwork. He cannot! As he's flicked right into the twisted advance. And yes, he presses the rebuttal button, then he's ignored, and then he's killed.
Important, and that's the tricky part of it, but it's not like Yuumi and easy, it's just you don't get to use your AD carry mechanics. To Chovy,
yeah, there we get proof that the Deadly Flourish does work that way, and the rebuttal not going to be available. Death from below comes on through as a cannon barrage, not going to be enough. Zeka going to be moving down. You can see Canyon able to watch out, eat, and grab that dragon. But now Emperor's Divide going to push Bambi back. He's going to need to flash as now the Bramble Cats are chasing after the deer.
With ults. Viper coming over. We're not done.
We're doing it one more time as Delight doesn't quite find the angle. I think that was just a little bit of a bone skewer onto a minion situation. Chovy just going to push him away. Curtains have been called here is now Keen. Oh dear, last bullet should kill him, but instead he just holds his nerve. Able to clear out the minion wave and will get himself out of the way. As Emperor's Divide going to throw Canyon back once again, and unfortunately, he is just dead.
It's not going to be feats of strength if it does go over.
I've seen this movie before, as Zeus once again, this time I think just going to die, as he does get a bunch of that health back, but still, Chovy, remember, that should be an option, but the problem is, if they are going to waste their time there, unless Chovy's able to take this turret, it could just be feats of strength going over to HLE.
And if Zeus flashes that route too, he's just dead, I think.
Yeah, look at this.
Now they just get this turret, and they have dragon control. Like, Onward just winning everywhere, and Gen.G cannot group. They just can't get together.
I mean, the turret is going to stay alive, but that is still a lot of damage going on down. As I think now they should be able to find the angle as rebuttal does come on through. If Zeus can survive, it will be so huge. Death from below, and Delight will execute the Mel. And Keen is teleported in. There's that feat of strength. He says, oh, let a pirate take care of it. Yar and stuff like that.
Has his passive, right, with his parlay, and he's up 40 CS, has the turret now.
That's called a cast curse, ladies and gentlemen. Chronicler would say that they're not real. However, we have just proved that they are indeed real, as Keen overextends and dies.
But he has... okay, hold up. Chovy
might be in a little bit of trouble here, as the rebuttal is going to move Delight forward. The FPX logo once again is going to spell death for Delight. Canyon cannot stand his ground against this guy. Peanuts now found Duro as the fight's happening all over the place. Zeus manages to take down his opposite number, and now Chovy is surrounded. The call of the curtains there from Viper is going to slow him down, and yeah, death from below is going to spell even more money there at the same time. Duro flashing, but I don't know whether he has anywhere else.
It's just, you don't get to showcase your mechanics and your skills that much on this pick. You need to be set up.
And it is also easy.
I mean, it is pretty easy, to be fair. But it's just not like, it's not Yuumi easy.
Rebutted, by the way, was the funniest thing, because Viper didn't even notice that the bullet came back and hit him in the head. He just kept shooting. Oh, it was very, very weird.
Yeah.
Didn't even see the champion. I feel like more often than not he's useless. So that's high praise, is what I'm saying, as he sidesteps beautifully, gets slowed there by the solar flare, and also needs to flash to get out of all of Mel's damage. All right, that is some value there from Peanut, who gets the Bramble Smash as well. The Emperor's Divide comes in, and the bullets are raining down. Keen gets popped with just a third one. Remember, it's the fourth that's the most dangerous. Duro trying to run away. The kitty cat not going to be able to chase him down this time.
Dude, Delight's already there, basically. And look at where Zeus is going. He's like, they don't even need me for this. This is so free.
And Canyon, he doesn't have flash. Like, what are you going to be able to do? Nothing. Zero. And Ruler is in his position. And guess what that means? That means he... okay, never mind. Delight will let him live.
Definitely is, and they are punishing hard.
Yep. There's a nice rebuttal there from Chovy, but he's not going to have it for this. As the kitty cats come down, the parade comes on through. Duro just going to get melted as the curtain call is going to be heading towards the enemy base. There's death from below as Delight gets himself out of there very comfortably. Keen. Oh, he's... Keen against the world, what it feels like as he just gets thrown back, sandwiched between the wall and destroyed. These two teams in the group stage of this tournament. Still may not be over just yet as the Solar Flare picks the middle of everyone, and Duro will be dying for it. Delight also going to go down, but I feel like that's been what he's been looking for the majority of the day, as a huge bullet goes into the back of the head of the Lilia once again, and Viper says goodnight to the Nexus. Man, what a Jhin performance.
Keen played well, but what did he do in team fights? Not a whole lot.
Ruler is not going to hear the end of that one.
I mean, he did hit turrets a little bit.
He did. Unfortunately, that isn't represented on this graph, and so now he has actually done almost half the damage of the enemy Pike.
Duro's getting close to his damage number.
Yeah.
The question now is still what Zeka is going to be playing here, because we don't know what his answer to what looks like is going to be a mid Ambessa is going to be just yet. He could play Talia.
That's a Fiora. So he could play Renekton.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is brawls everywhere. My God, it's one of my favorite games ever. Look at this. You got like Ambessa versus Renekton, Fiora versus Camille. Fiora Camille is like one of the best duelist matchups that you can get.
It's so fun. It's classic.
Oh,
like
this
Ashe,
is so good.
Ashe, though, sets this composition up for success super hard. I've seen a lot of Ambessa ults miss, but hard to miss it when you hit a stationary target. And the Smolder stacking
Oh my
on top
God,
of it.
okay. Wait, where does the Smolder go? It is support Camille, God!
No, it's support Ashe, right?
No, maybe. I thought it was mid lane Smolder, support Camille, Ashe 80 carry. I don't know whether it's good, but I mean, that's where the champions theoretically could go.
Like, that could happen, yeah, that could happen. We'll see.
Shen! All right, that's Shen. Right. So Delight is going to be playing the Shen support with the Xayah. And we've got like a whole lot of top laners and then some other stuff.
The Smolder is going to get huge. The synergy between those two champions is actually immense. So I feel like there has to be some tempo advantages gotten. At least the Fiora needs to get ahead to be able to side here.
Yep, and we'll see how Zeka goes on the Crocodile in that mid lane. Yeah, some stuff's being cooked up. Let's see what it tastes like as we jump into the Rift. It's the only one other than Lahens that has tried his hand at it. There is... You know, a few players that have had a few games here or there on the Shen, but not so far here in the LCK Cup. I'm pretty sure the value he can get.
Yeah, I want to say Keria almost played it, but opted not to.
Yeah, I think we were talking about Keria was going to play it.
Keen may just want to let that experience go.
Yeah, he's going to flash back towards the turret. Let's see whether this dive is going to work out. As there's Delight just being dead. So first blood goes over to Duro on this support Camille. And now it might be his turn to die. Let's see how this dive is going to go as they find yet another one. And yeah, he's just dead. Grasping Roots are going to connect, and the flash out from Viper. And so Delight going to see what kind of value he can get.
Yeah, I want to say Keria almost played it, but opted not to.
Yeah, I think we were talking about Keria was going to play it.
Keen may just want to let that experience go.
Yeah, he's going to flash back towards the turret. Let's see whether this dive is going to work out as... There's Delight just being dead, so first blood goes over to Duro on this support Camille. And now it might be his turn to die. Let's see how this dive is going to go as they find yet another one. And yeah, he's just dead. Grasping Roots are going to connect, and the flash out from Viper. And it kind of is, but they're looking for a dive as the arrow is going to connect. Mom gets angry, and I think Zeka is going to die. He throws down the Dominus and then flashes, and he's safe into this river. They look for an angle towards Chovy. Him and Viper doing battle here as 80 carry versus 80 carry. Delight wanted to come on over and stop Canyon from getting this done, but instead they turn onto Duro, who throws down the Hextech ultimatum. Peanut, the first one to go down, and as he hook shots away, and he stays alive. Into the backline goes Keen as well, and he executes Viper. Duro will eventually fall, but look at Zeus. He's taking so many of these shots, and it's a double kill on the back end for Zeus. He finds the angle, Delight flashes away, but he's still gonna die, and now Ruler finally finding a moment to perform as Zeka gets on top of him, but Ruler says no. He's got another left in the quiver for him. 27 seconds on that one. As Zeus continuing to dash around, Canyon will be here to make this an unfair fight. We were talking about walls of pain there before. Let's see what they can actually get done here as Duro finds a Hextech ultimatum. He's kind of by himself as the arrow. It sails by. There's the Requiem as Zeus just reposts it. And there goes Duro. So a nice pickup there for HLE.
This turret, though.
Yeah, this is the problem, is there's the flash forward from Zeka. Can he actually kill this Smolder as he blocks him?
Here for Holland, but this turret is getting worn down.
Oh, goodness me, the Achu doing so much work as Delight almost just dead as Mum just rains down. There's the taunt onto Duro. Grand challenge is issued, but not actually going to do too much here. So they are going to be able to brute force this inner turret. Let's see what HLE can get done on the other side of this, though, because the Rift Herald has now made its way towards the mid lane. They should be able to stick around and take this one down, although...
Some cool angles of attack. to punish Ruler, who likes to overextend as making sense.
It's public execution as Featherstorm comes down. Stranglethorn's coming in there as well as Viper is alive, and Delight just takes down the Ambessa. Requiem is probably going to kill him. Yeah, there he goes, and that is 2 picked up for Gingy. And now Zeka is going to try and do it again. This time Duro is in position. Chovy trying to flap away, and that is only a slice. No dice is available. Pokes them out. He's getting more of these stacks. As okay, he goes to Light. They managed to at least pop this Karthus, but remember, he can still do damage. There's the Requiem, as they can get onto that healing field if they want to stay alive, as now Zeka getting cut up by Keen, but the Stand United, it's going to be there. Keen goes down eventually. Duro's at full health, but look at Ruler. He's just raining the arrows in. Delight finds it, but not the kill. And Ruler limps away from the fight, but keeps himself alive. And Duro should be able to tank this dragon up as they look to deny that soul point.
And they're so slow.
Yeah. Can Peanut actually get over as Mom gets angry? Yeah, no, he cannot make it in at all. And now they're just in the wrong spot. Public execution. Yep, right in front of all of his friends. Zeka is going to try and kill someone and does manage to at least send Canyon home. But it's a double kill off the back end. Peanut dead to Ruler, and Zeka follows the same fate. As HLE, I mean, I don't know what this Death Brush is really doing here, as Zeus just trying to keep himself somewhat not dead, as that's a lot of riposte value and does manage to at least send one of them home. Viper, I don't know what that Featherstorm was.
Hey, a Smolder that's fully stacked and getting more stacks all the time.
Ooh, that's some high value Zyra damage as Mum gets mad. Viper is also dead. Keen is just going to kill him, and there's nothing Delight can do about it because he's just taking damage from everyone else. A double kill here for Keen is now Zeka trying to get this value. Sends Chovy home, might be able to do the same thing to Duro, and does so before making his way out of the base gate. Flash over, and in the meantime, Zeus is in a side lane just killing.
He does have withdraw still.
Yeah, he may be withdrawing at this point in time. Yeah, he just goes down. In fact, yeah, just wore off, and now Canyon's also dead. Peanut, he's going to eat a Skittle, and that is not one that he finds too delicious. Zay's going to need to riposte, does so to avoid the Requiem, as Keen looking for some immediate revenge. Zay's trying to be that hero, and he does blast on his way to relative safety. But Chovy, every time he hits one of these Qs, I fear someone is just going to die. And yeah, that's like he sneezed and Viper had to press his ultimate. That is absurd. Oh my God,
Mary. Peanut.
Yeah, Peanut, can you actually get in there? The answer's probably going to be no, as they do manage to lock down the Baron. Now Zeka trying to do what he can. Chovy is just dead though, as Peanut locks that one up. That's a great arm guard to keep himself safe.
Get soul point is the real question. Requiem says
yeah,
no.
Peanut's just dead. Stand United, that's going to be enough to save him. Okay, eating some honey fruit here as well.
But
and
they lose the dragon
they
though.
lose
once again.
Well, let's see what they can actually find as Peanut doesn't get the Grasping Roots. Decent Shadow Dash there from Delight to get Duro out of there, but Duro doesn't really mind about losing a bit of his health bar. He's going to head back, and the rest of Genji will be wiping out this turret. HLE on the ropes well and truly, and the Fiora is in a side lane because, of course, team fighting Fiora means you're probably losing the game regardless. That is the game state for HLE right now as Delight, oh my God. I don't know who looked at him the wrong way, but it was someone.
Stack acquired again here for Canyon. I wonder how many he has.
Well, teleport going to get Zeus on top of Canyon right now. Keen is moving so quickly to get on over, and he's interrupted. Oh no, Zeus 1 versus 3. I don't know about this one. Still able to take down Canyon. That is massive, and he's still alive. My God, Delight gets in there. That's why he was able to survive for so long. And Duro almost... Oh my goodness, yeah, exactly. Look at that, sneezed on Viper, and he had to go back up into the sky once again. As I don't know whether a recall of some feathers is going to be enough to stop them from just tearing this base apart. Another conga line of minions is going to move in from the top side as Keen dashing around in circles of Stranglethorns. Not going to really get anything done. And all right, now we're flashing forward, looking for some opportunities as the Requiem does come on through, and that is going to take down at least Delight. Ruler is just kiting out the Renekton, who is free food for these 80 carries. Zeus trying to be the fed Fiora that he wants to be, but he's like that Fiora that says they're a smurf in your iron solo queue game. Sometimes they're just not good enough to get it done. That it was going to be the Camille in a solo lane, like Ambessa mid or something like that for Chovy, and then you play around the Karthus that way. But I love this pivot. Duro also playing a great game of the support Camille. When I saw that get picked, I had flashbacks of what happened when Beryl just recently played it, and that was sub good.
Yeah. Into this very poppy lane.
Ooh, Twitch is another fun one.
I don't know about this.
Ooh.
I know even less about this in terms of how I feel about it.
I feel negatively towards
I don't like it very much.
Oh, it's Twitch. Okay, an 80 carry. That makes us feel a little bit better.
I mean, it has an incredible front line and setup.
And you can really jump scare people, especially with the Grand Skyfall used in tandem.
Will we see the Talia to come through here for Zeka? It feels pretty good into the Silas, the Pantheon.
Oh god, no. Not Aatrox. Aatrox has looked not very fun and good. Okay, that's going to be Aatrox though. Oh, this is a worry. It's a great sign for Gen G fans.
All right, what's that Zeka pick? There's no way he wants to play a Kali, right?
Ooh, Ari would be weird with a Nidalee, personally.
Yeah. Kali feels weird too. I don't really like it here. Would have rather seen the Talia, but ultimately they're going to settle on this Ari that made it all the way to Game 5.
And that's
and
Cannon.
Then Cannon. And potentially 80 Cannon in this draft. It could be, but you know, it's not the most...
Was that what Kingen did?
Yeah, it's not the most magic damage ever with Silas in the mid lane here for Gen G, so he definitely can go AP here if they can pilot it well. But this just kind of presses R and wins the game. I'm leaning towards this draft here for Gen G.
I would agree. I think the reset potential is definitely there as well with the jump scare of the Twitch. An original counter pick into Zeri. Let's get into it. You have a Zeri that really wants to be team fighting and things like that. I think the only saving grace here is Delight on the Poppy.
Yeah.
Because what Poppy does is it turns every draft into a playable one. As, never mind, all right, Chovy just going to have to flash immediately here in this game. And
sometimes we see players just throw their chains into the air to stack the passive one more time, but you know, in this case, he felt really like he was going to get something out of this. He's got that buffed electrocute. So does Zeka, though. So that's kind of a problem. This Peanut is trying to make sure his jungle doesn't get stolen away.
Oh, no. This is something that Canyon actually ran into a little while back, where he tried to steal some grubs and then wasn't actually able to get the value as the chain, this time not going to connect as Canyon makes his way.
For Zeka there as well. Surprised he played so aggressively.
Nice charm going to connect. Foxfire as well.
Not just some of his other melee picks, but he is very good at it, and he's showing why.
Oh god, Chovy, remember, doesn't have flash, but instead they just turn immediately onto Canyon. I don't know whether you needed to do that, Peanut, but he is able to get out of the last turret shot.
Really stacking up a lot of advantages here against Gen G. Hanwha Life with a fantastic start.
Oh dear, Ruler, that's the sweet spot of that.
Really well with my passive. Chovy's in trouble. Still no flash, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Has to Kingslayer his way over. Delight's going to turn up. That means that he's definitely dead. And that little Yordle with a hammer. And Viper only level 6, so doesn't quite have the ultimate available, but there is the pick-off, and Duro, he is burning, and Viper is... Peanut, as the grubs have been started up yet again. A teleport back, though, from Zeus, as HLE look to commit for this fight. They've already got feats of strength as far as those kills are concerned. They're looking to make a bit of a start here.
That this might affect his CS difference numbers as well, because this is like the lowest he's ever been, basically.
Oh god, the interruption that was blind avoids the chains as well. Flashes out of the slicing maelstrom, and he's still probably going to die as Canyon's going to turn up. Umbral dash over the wall though. As he's out of mark range, this is insane. Gets the knock up onto Keen, and I don't think he's got another charge. As meanwhile, on the other side of the rift, Ruler is getting torn to shreds here by Peanut, but he's able to slink off, gets into stealth. Duro maybe not so lucky, as Viper presses the ultimate button, and there is the kill.
That there was something that happened, but no, everyone else was topside. He was left to die, but they find success, and they're looking for a redive here on the Ruler.
Yep, Delight is just going to push Ruler away, and Ruler is too greedy, and he's just going to die.
Everywhere else, I mean, this gold lead is expanding. Zeus, no flash, 4 people.
There's the World Ender. He's just looking to clear out these minions if he can, but he will just be exploded. There goes that kill. Viper with some free time there towards the top side in exchange. Teleport over from Chovy into this mid lane. That's a large difference. It's okay, that's a good flash from Ruler, as Viper still getting this damage down as Canyon looks for the stun, but Viper avoids it. Ruler now underneath this turret's trying to...
Well, this situation is really tough for Gen G because Hanwha are now playing so respectfully as well.
Well, Canyon now going to find Viper here. A little bit of a misposition, but he does have the barrier to keep himself safe. Spray and pray comes out from Ruler.
Champions we have. We're talking about Nidalee, Ari, Zeri, And to a lesser extent, Aatrox is decently mobile himself.
Well, here's a heroic charge as Viper's making his way in. Duro looking to try and stop him, but Ruler is dead. That was mostly praying, not a whole lot of spraying.
And we liked, you know, some of the
I was
aspects of
worried
Genji's
about this draft as well, as Viper is in melee range against a Viego, and he just pieces out. Delight can go for the 1v1 if you'd like to. The double teleports as Canyon gonna get flashed on. And that is that darkened, the cool button that Zeus has access to on his passive, and Chovy and Keen turn up a little bit too late to stop anything from happening.
The dodges in this game, but unreal. Keen's going for it.
And look at that, Delight sacrificing himself. Chovy did steal away Viper's ultimate, and that is going to be able to take that kill as the step bust presence is so good from Delight. Still, the chains come down, and Chovy tanking too many turrets here in order to stay alive as Zeka comes in and says no more funny business. But Genji have been able to find some value, unless this charm is going to spell the end of everything. Because remember, this means resets, and Zeka is dashing after Ruler now. The Orb of Deception doesn't get that true damage, as Ruler does have the ultimate back up and available once again. All right, Zeka could be in trouble. Chain's going to connect there as Dura gets the stun. Charm goes wide, and that is 730 gold or something like that going over to Chovy as Zeus is teleported in. Duro is dead, ladies and gentlemen, and Chovy, I think, is going to follow suit. There he goes.
Kills might feel nice because you're like, wow, we're behind on gold. We shouldn't be able to get that, but now you're losing the map.
Oh, Keen going a little bit aggressive here as Zeus does get stunned off, and Zeus just pops him. That is going to be the kill going over to Light somehow, and Duro realizing that there is no avenue in whatsoever. Canyon down to 50%. Ruler trying to do damage where he can, and look at this brick wall of an Aatrox. Delight goes in, double knock up is gigantic. Duro in that backline, zoning out Viper quite nicely as the rest of Genji have grouped back up. But Zeus is still alive. He's healing over and over again. The team fighting Peanut Nidalee is actually working, and finally Zeka shows up to clean up the battle.
Flank is massive. As speaking of flanks,
oh, that's a heroic charge. Into a charm, and Dura's dead. Not a whole lot that he can do about that one, as he does buy a fair bit of time as the teleport is coming in from Keen. But just a little bit too little and definitely too late, as we do have Artican up and available. Out. Zeus also has been... Oh, okay, never mind. He's just going to face check two people. Zeka going to move over, and there's the explosion, and down goes Canyon. No resets for you. Chovy as well, finding himself point blank into this Aatrox, who will just take a little bit of a avenue out of there. Viper explodes, that's gonna kill the rat, and now he's just looking to press that burst fire button over and over again. He's got carpal tunnel, but he's also got a triple kill, and maybe make that a quadra. Never mind, it's gonna be taken there by Peanut. That's gonna be an ace.
He did get two items, you know, we went from ketchup to like,
oh God!
It's big. The damage.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage. He finds that first Q onto Canyon there as well. Takes a blast cone, but...
Yeah.
And Zeka is also in the mid lane. Keen is going to be the first one to be targeted as Delight pushes Chovy away. Duro is also going to explode the double kill for the Ahri as the spray and pray was trying to work, but unfortunately the Twitch just does not do enough. And look at Zeka having a field day. It's a quadra. Oh God, is he going to get another game 5 pentakill?
It was a bit of a wash, Atlas.
It certainly was, but it was some impressive plays. There's a heroic charge. Zeka, unofficial denial of the pentakill by Delight. You love to see it. Next is turrets.
You've definitely enjoyed some of the highs, but the lows have felt pretty hard. And Ruler may just simply go down.
Oh dear. Well, Zeka is very charming, as we know.
Indeed. But he's done it.
Oh, Zeus is standing on a ward. And now everyone's going to dive in. Viper is going to turn up as Chovy. Look at that, he's flailing with his chains out. And unfortunately, HLE are way too far ahead. Zeus can face check basically anything he wants as the Slicing Maelstrom does nothing. It's winner's final here for the LCK Cup. Ruler spraying, praying, but he's going to have to utilize a lot of those prayers against Nongshim to keep Genji alive here in this tournament. And he still wins games on 0 Heartsteel stacks of Mumu.
Yeah.
Like, that still happens. He's still got Curse of the Sad Mummy, you know, and he knows exactly when to use it. It's about, like, his architecture of a good fight in the later stages of the game that makes him so invaluable for a team like Humble Life Esports, especially when paired with that guy right there, just slamming people into walls and setting up kills for his teammates. Delight, an absolute monster this whole series. I think that, like, this would have looked so different if Delight wasn't having an absolute day out today.
I feel like this team is finally starting to reach its identity. Like, Viper can sometimes, you know, be the main carry, and often is, right? As we saw in Game 1, but Sometimes it's just facilitation of this AD carry well that you can play through top lane. You can play through mid lane. You can do whatever Peanut tells you to do. And when he finds that early advantage, the gold graphs look like this, and Hanwha Life look like a scary team in these BO5s.
They are.